Number 5, life's inequitable. Probably have to tell you here, I was kind of a different phenomena in growing up in life. When I finished my sophomore year of high school, I was 5'9" and 145 pounds. When I started my senior year, some 13 months later, 14, I was 6'4" and 160 pounds. Now, just picture that in your mind, 6'4", 160. I could turn sideways and disappear. And if I turned sideways, stuck out my tongue, you'd look like a zipper. You know. There wasn't much there. So I wasn't blessed with the physical traits that probably needed there. We had, my senior year of high school, a very good basketball team. Matter of fact, we, about the second or third game of the early season, we played Cedar Rapids Regis at their place, who went on to win the Iowa State Championship that year. And some excellent players, most of us had played together through junior high and senior high. We, early in the year, had that senior year, went to Galesburg, Illinois, 50 miles to the east, across the Mississippi, to play the Galesburg Silver Streaks. Galesburg had won the Illinois State Championship the year before, had just about everybody back. And those of you not familiar with the Midwest, at that time anyway, basketball got steadily better when you went from Nebraska, Iowa was better. You went from Iowa to Illinois, Illinois was far better. Went from Illinois to Indiana and Kentucky, and you got the real crazies there, and they were super good. And that was kind of the way it was. Actually, the Illinois State Championships were shown on Iowa TV, and not even Iowa was shown on Iowa TV. So kind of give you a feel for level in Illinois. We go to play Galesburg. I had been a guard all my life, from grade school through junior year of high school. And I was 5'9". When I ended up 6'4", and our center on the basketball team broke his leg the last game of the football season, I went from a guard to a postman. And so I'm going to play post now at 6'4", 160 pounds. Galesburg had a postman by the name of Bumpy Nixon. And what a great name. Nixon was 6'7", 235. That's my assignment. Okay. Now, the game plan was, Mills, you're fronting him. You'll have backside help. All will be good. Well, we get down to a few seconds left in the first half. Fouls committed. Look up at the scoreboard. We're down 44-12. Keep in mind, we hadn't lost a game most of my career, never more than 2 or 3 in a season. So we're down. I should have been on the lane to rebound, but I looked at that scoreboard and I just wanted to get off the court at halftime to get a second wind. So I stayed back in defensive balance and let somebody else stay down there because it was closer to the locker room door. And when buzzer sounds, I head into the locker room, but I wasn't the first one in there. Our coach was a small, dynamic, Irish Catholic fireball, great coach. I happened to have him as a 7th grade coach at Oak Street Junior High. Went to 8th grade, he became an 8th grade coach. 9th grade, he got a 9th grade job. Went to high school, he got the sophomore job in high school. My junior year of high school, a longtime coach who had been highly successful, Buck Cheadle, there's another great name. He retired, and Coach Howell got the varsity job. I'll take credit for his career advancement all the way. No, not really. I had that relationship. It had always been positive. He had been tremendous supporter, booster, and give him all the credit for giving me the best of everything. Well, as we went in the locker room, he had already got there, and I walk in, and there's a wire foot basket that you put your clothes in that they often used then. And it came flying across the locker room and lodged in an air vent up here in the end of the locker room. And I kind of had a premonition of, something about to happen here that probably wasn't all good. And we get in, and he starts one by one to go down each one of us and give us a critique that, well, let's say it wasn't real flattering. And I can remember being, for the moment, destroyed by what was happening there. I had never heard, experienced, felt anything quite like it. If I'd have been a philosopher, I would have said, it's one of those moments, we deserve it. And, he's doing that. That wasn't happening. I was feeling defeated by it. But later, in looking at that situation and ultimately putting, I think, some objective thinking into it, what we were experiencing was the fact that life was inequitable. Life is inequitable. We are not all going to have strengths, weaknesses, whether we're talking about intelligence, physical traits, appearance traits, on and on. It's not equitable. We're not given a cookbook prescription that has all equality in it. I was 6'4" and 160 pounds. And you could scheme and design forever, but the only way I was going to succeed that night, if I'd have been sick and not been there. Okay? Because I was going to get whipped. We were going to get whipped. That's life. Now, how do we deal with inequity? To some people, it destroys life forever because they're constantly fighting that fact and never really diagnosing it and understanding what they're doing. They're letting that inequity be the sole force that dominates their spirit and their motive. Here's the breakthrough that should, if any of you face that. When DNA was found, discovered, and brought to us by great medicine and research, what it proved is what the good book has always told us. And that is that we are unique in our makeup. In the 7 billion people that are on earth today, there's not one like you or me. God created us in His image with various traits, characteristics. And when those seem by life's journey to be inequitable, it's time for us to go back to the Creator and understand He doesn't make mistakes. And whatever we see as inequitable is not that, but rather it's simply a fact of creation and to be accepted. And H.T. Leslie said it this way: it's not being dealt the best hand in life, but rather it's playing the cards you receive as well as they can be played. And that's the way life is. Life is inequitable.